The voice you inherited. Night. A kitchen lit by a half-open fridge. Broken glass on the floor. A silhouette, shoulders curved. Rain. You dropped the glass. Before the sound even finished, the sentence was there. Idiot. Of course you did. And you never asked whose voice that is. You assumed it was yours. But it wasn't born with you. You learned it. Somewhere, long ago, it was a real voice, a parent's, a person who needed control more than they could give love. In a real room, speaking to a child who couldn't argue back, and a child cannot believe the people keeping them alive are wrong. It's safer to think I am the problem, so the child takes the voice in and makes it its own. Years pass, the room is gone, but the voice stays, fluent now, indistinguishable from your own thoughts. That voice learned to speak using 4 sentences, and the first begins with gratitude, but ends in a chain. Block A. After everything I did for you. Giant hands offer a gift wrapped in chains. Behind them, tilted scales. The first sentence arrives as a reminder. After everything I did for you. And it does something quiet and devastating. It turns love into a debt. The things a parent should give freely become an invoice. Now you owe, and the interest never stops. The cruelty is that the debt can never be paid. No obedience closes the account because it was never meant to close. Its purpose was control. A person who owes you forever never leaves. So you grow up unable to say no. Every boundary feels like ingratitude. You apologize for needing things. And you never ask the real question. Why do I still feel I owe something to someone who hurt me? Because guilt was installed before you had words to refuse it. You're too sensitive. A distorted mirror. The reflection blurred. Wrong. A hand touches the glass. The reflection doesn't move. The second sentence attacks what you felt. You're too sensitive. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong. Repeated over years, it teaches you to distrust your own mind. A child reads the world through feeling. This hurt. That was unfair. When an adult denies that reality, the child faces an impossible choice. Trust myself, or trust the person I can't survive without. The child always chooses the parent, so the hurt becomes I'm being dramatic. Something is wrong becomes something is wrong with me. As an adult, You second guess everything. You ask others if your own memories are real. So ask yourself, how many times did I swallow my pain because someone told me it wasn't real? No one will ever love you like I do. A golden cage, door wide open. A bird sits still, staring at the open door, and doesn't fly. The third sentence sounds like devotion, but it doesn't say I love you. It says only I can. It tells you the world is cold and dangerous, and this one relationship, however much it hurts, is the only warmth you'll find. This is how the cage is built, not with walls, but with fear. Friends become bad influences. Independence becomes abandonment, until the open door feels more dangerous than the cage. And the bond mixes love with fear until you can't tell them apart. The child grows up certain, if this person stops loving me, I am unlovable, and carries it into every relationship, mistaking control for care. So ask, why am I still afraid that, without them, I wouldn't be loved at all? I only want what's best for you. Giant hands adjust the strings of a marionette. Slow, delicate, control performed as tenderness. The fourth sentence is the hardest to see because it looks like love. I only want what's best for you. How do you argue with that? To resist is to seem ungrateful. That's why it works. Control wearing the face of care. Underneath, a quiet instruction repeats. Your judgment can't be trusted. And so the last thing is taken, the ability to know what you actually want. But the hands holding those strings were once a marionette too. The people who plant these sentences almost always receive them first. Not to excuse it, to understand it. It's a chain, passed down, link after link. This is where the emptiness begins. When being controlled and being loved feel like the same thing, you spend your life chasing one and drowning in the other. The rain continues. The voice softens, speaking to the viewer directly. If you've made it this far, it's probably because this isn't theory to you. It's memory. And if a part of you is recognizing itself in these sentences, then this channel is for you. Stay with us. Subscribe, not to fix yourself, but to keep understanding yourself. Why nothing is ever enough. An endless staircase into darkness. Each step dissolves behind the climbing silhouette. No landing. You may have spent your whole life climbing. The next achievement, the next purchase, the next person to finally approve of you. And each time you reach it, a flicker of relief, then the old emptiness returns at the top of the next step. Whatever we gain, we adapt to. The relief fades, the baseline resets. But on top of this wound, it becomes a compulsion. Because you were never chasing the achievement, you were chasing the approval that voice never gave. And here's the trap. The voice was built to never be satisfied. There was always a but, always a higher step. So you're climbing toward a yes from a system designed to only ever say not yet. You can win everything and stand emptier than when you began. So ask, who exactly am I winning all of this for? Whose thoughts are these, really? A mirror with two reflections. One stooped and endlessly speaking. One upright and silent. The silhouette turns toward the silent one. So let's say it plainly. You are not broken. You are repeating. Broken is a verdict. Repeating is a pattern, and a pattern, once you see it, can be interrupted. The voice is not a fact about who you are. It's a recording made long ago by someone who was probably handed the same one. It feels like truth only because it played so many times you stopped hearing it as a voice. You started hearing it as you. The work isn't silencing it, it's recognizing it. Catching the moment it speaks and asking, before obeying, whose sentence is this? That question creates a space that wasn't there before. And in that space, you are no longer the marionette. You are the one watching the strings. The silence that is yours. Rain behind the glass. The room is still. Not empty, settled. The silhouette sits, shoulders no longer curved. The glass will break again, and the voice will come. It always comes. But now you know whose it is. And maybe, for the first time, instead of obeying it, you simply listen, the way you'd listen to an old rain falling far off. Behind glass. A storm you once stood inside of, certain it was your fault. It can't reach you now. The window is closed. The child who was never seen grew up and tried to be seen by things that could never look back. But there's another way to be seen, turning toward the part of you that was silent all along, watching, never once cruel. That is not emptiness you feel now, it's space, a quiet that, for the first time, belongs to no one but you. And if this quiet found something true in you tonight, don't let it be the last time. subscribe, and sit with us again, because being seen begins with no longer turning away from yourself. We'll leave the light on.